look at this good old costume. If you've watched my videos in the past year or uh, looked at any of my thumbnails for TBRs and wrap-ups, you may be like, bitch, what the hell is that? What the hell? This is normally a sweater I wear when I did wrap-ups and TBRs last year. It just accidentally became a thing, and then I continued it. Here's the thing. I was doing, for all this year, the way I was doing it is shorts, slash Instagram reels every week of what I was reading. But there's not enough time to talk about books, and I like to yap about my books, okay? Okay, so instead of doing the full way that I did last year, where it's every single book, well, the past few years, every single book I read every month, because again, we'd be here forever. I read a lot of books. This month, I think it was only like 12, 13. Like, it's much less than normal years, but still, it's a lot, or normal months, but still a lot. Especially since I like to yap about my books. So instead, the way we're doing it for the rest of this year, and until I decide otherwise, we are doing it where we will be talking about just the books I didn't read for vlogs or arcs. So anything that I haven't already yapped about, essentially, that is what's happening. Should I pull up the stats? Yes, I should. October, I read 15. Honestly, better than I was expecting. Only 51 audiobook hours. Yeah, that wasn't much of what I was reading. It was mostly reading with my eyeballs. For 4,512 pages. Most were genre. Surprise, surprise, horror. So that's a good time. Also, I DNF'd quite a few books, but I won't be talking about any of those because I think those were also in videos. Hello, Bella. Are you here to tell the people that the important thing is that today that I'm filming this is Halloween, actually. So actually I should change. Ignore that there's one button missing. It's been missing since around the time I got it. It's fine. It's fine. Also, all my nail glue was dead, so I had to use the sticky pads and it may be lash glue, which is what's sticking all this glitter to my face. Wait, we gotta do a close-up without the glasses. I am very bad. I had a lot of fun putting a bunch of sequins and glitter on my face, like an adult. This is adult crafts, okay? Anyways, I'm a unicorn. I do have a photo of me as a unicorn from last year. So that's so funny. I even put in earrings. Nobody can see them. It's fine. We're here to talk about books. I did write them down. 3 of these, it's just the section here. 3 of these are the same manga series. So I'll talk about those all at the same time, right? First thing, Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation, the novel version, volume 2, which I gave, I think 3.5, which I also gave the first one, but I liked this one more. One, because I already knew what to expect getting into it, right? Because that was an issue with the first one where I didn't know what to expect, and then I had trouble getting into it, especially since apparently this is the series you don't start with this type of novel. Whoops. It's not my fault, it's the one that came in from the library first. Anyways, I liked it more because of that, but still giving it 3.5. There's a thing I noticed in both of them where giant sections of the book will just be flashbacks. And like that made sense to the first one because it's a flashback of their relationship growing up, so you could like see the growth of their relationship now. This time it was like other characters' memories that he was seeing. I don't know what was going on with that. In case you don't know, it's about this long dead evil guy gets summoned to possess this other guy, and comes across, and so he's trying to do all this stuff as part of payment for being alive again, right? And possessing this other guy who was gay, and so he was hated on because he was, right? And then he comes across kind of enemy, kind of friend from like high school type days of being demonic cultivators. They fight demons and ghosts and stuff like that. He instantly knows who he is and all this stuff. This one, they had to go to the place where the guy that he's possessing the body of was kicked out for being gay, and presumably for hitting on the head of the group. That iconic. Also great scene was when when I don't remember names too. I'm not gonna be able to pronounce them anyways. But the Alfred, he's very the main character, very flamboyant in like any way possible. Other character, not so much. He's very solitary inside himself, right? And he at one point gets really drunk and makes them play a game with them that includes licking each other. Anyways, 3.5 stars. Had a great time. Not in Love by Allie Hazelwood, which I did the math, and I think that's the 11th Allie Hazelwood I've read ever, and the 6th this year. I don't know what's going on with me. I had a great time, 4 stars. This one is not your typical romance. This is two people who had traumatic childhoods, and believing that they cannot love because of this. And so they come together, and they both have an attraction towards each other, so they a lot. And he very quickly goes, "Oh, I'm in love with this bitch," but I can never tell her because she will run away, because of this, all this past trauma and stuff, right? And so it's her coming to terms with the fact that she is valid to feel love, be loved, and that she can, and that she does with him. Is majority of the book. There's also like a bunch of stuff with legal stuff, and because there's also this whole thing where the company she works for, she's like good friends with the founder and whatnot, and him and his friends are buying up that company, trying to take charge of the company, because of it's pretty obvious that the friend slash owner slash founder, whatever, stole their work, to and that's what all this is based off of. Like the whole company is based off of work that she stole from them when they were grad students, right? And because of it, like 2 of them got kicked out of the program. And one of them like never got her, like could have been a millionaire by now, but she's not, like stuff like that is happening in the background. And so, yeah, no, the twist with that friend with the main character, it's kind of obvious, right? So I wasn't that surprised. Here's the main issue I have with this book. Like, I did have a good time. Here's the main issue. There's a sequel that came out this year, Problematic Summer Romance, I think is what it's called. And it's between the male main character in this, I don't know why I'm holding up this when I say this, his best friend, well, one of his best friends, his male best friend, who's single, because there's 4 of them, the single one, right, who's in like his mid-30s, and his younger sister. And I do like sibling best friend romances, but like, I can't enjoy those. And in theory, that does sound like a good idea. But in this one, he's so horrible. He just says, whenever somebody tries to have an emotionally mature conversation with him, he just says, or in general, like he got a little bit drunk on the main character's birthday and started saying shit about the other main character, right in front of her. And then act surprised when she doesn't trust you. I'm sorry. Anyways, yeah, no, he says a lot of not okay things in this book, just because it's too emotionally charged, or he gets drunk, and I'm supposed to root for him in the relationship in the next book. Allie Hazelwood's got her work cut out for her, but I trust her because she's Allie Hazelwood. Anyways, we're on to Yona the Dawn. I read 3 volumes. I read 28, 29, 30. We gotta talk about the last one in a minute. This is the second half and slash end of the current arc that I'm in the middle of reading. Well, was in the middle of reading. I'm not in that arc anymore. In which I think it's actually most of the arc. This is about a princess whose father gets assassinated by her cousin who she was in love with, and so now she's on a run, and she's the Red Dragon. There's 4 other dragons who are following her, plus her best friend slash personal guard, Hawk. Recently, as of like the previous 3 volumes, they have kissed one time, and he admitted his love for her. And so it's like a lot of cute scenes of like them trying to like make the country better, traveling, doing that, with occasional cute scenes of him just being like, listen, I'm never leaving you because I get all my strength from you. That's why I'm so strong. I'm fine. I'm fine. I was almost crying reading the volume 30. We'll talk about it. Anyways, this arc is people have caught onto the power of the dragons, and so to defeat the country that she's technically the princess of, they kidnap her to control the dragons, is essentially what happens in these. Except what happens near the end is Hawk goes against essentially a whole army by himself and then walks into a burning building to get her out. He's injured, obviously, because he fought a whole army by himself. Gets her out. She's also injured. She's also, like, because she's, like, chained up, right? And she had to, like, fight for her life before that as well. So, she's slightly injured. He gets angry. Valid. She gets smoke inhalation, and so when he finds her, she's, like, passed out. And he's trying to carry her out of there, wounded himself. He's got burns. He literally got burned himself to get to her. And she's so like, I love you, Hawk. I'm fine. Thank you for asking. He learns that the guy who kidnapped her made her sleep in the same room as him. He gets very angry. She's all like, no, he's actually like in love with his wife. He has a wife and he's in love with her. Like, it wasn't anything like that. And he's all like, I'm gonna skin this man alive. I'm in love with them both, okay? And then, what was the other thing? Oh yeah, to get to water, so she can't carry the jug of water, because she's still chained up at this point, I think. And even if she's not, her feet are injured, and it's a big jug of water, and she doesn't have a ladle to take it to him, so she puts it in her mouth, and then transfers it to his mouth. I think they just end up kissing, and he's like, oh well, I guess I'm kissing you now. She's like, there's not enough water for you to be doing this. He's like, who cares about water? Anyways, it was so cute. I love them. These are my people. 28 was 4 stars, 29 was 4.5, 30 was 5 stars. Most of what I just talked about was in 30, which is why it's my favorite. I was screaming, crying, having a great time, and then went and watched Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies with friends, which is so funny to me. Also, that movie's so funny. Oh my god, I was having a great time. Anyways, next one. And I'm gonna drink my coffee. I do have the mug back. Curious Tides. I thought this one would be a great one to do in October because it's kind of dark academia vibes. And all this stuff. But you can hear me out. There are 2 love interests. So it follows this girl. There's Remy and then there's Emery, and I think she's Emery, and Remy is the best friend who died recently. Before the book, she and her best friend and a few other people were in this dangerous cave system that the tide can come in, and the tide came in and killed them all except for her. She's the only one who survived, and now her magic is weird. That's the general consensus. There's 2 love interests. There is Baz, who is her best friend, Emery, if I have them right. Baz is her older sister, older brother, not sister, by like 1 year. And he has eclipse magic, and there's this whole thing about eclipse magic being very dangerous, and you can kill people. He can control time. That's a thing for him. And we all know how I love freaky deaky time shit. And then there's another love interest, who is the guy who found her after everything, right, on the beach. And he how do I put this? He is a part of a cult and manipulates her multiple times. Listen, within the like first 200 pages, he manipulates her for the first time, and like she learns it, and she's immediately like, oh my god, I can never trust him again. And then like 5 pages later, she's making out with him, sloppy style. Okay, this girl's a dumbass. This is their love interest. Me talking to friends on streams is me going, this is this man. And then we have Baz, this sweet guy who literally goes against everything he believes in about eclipse magic to help her out and protect her, and all this stuff, and having a crush on her for years, and knowing everything about her, and being her emotional rock, as he also, he lost his sister, and all this stuff, and, like, losing your best friend, but, like, he lost his sister, and he's being her emotional rock during that tumultuous time, okay? and all this stuff. Meanwhile, she's manipulating his emotions because she knows that he has a thing for her, just like the other guy is doing to her. And then whoop-de-doo, at the end, other guy, cult guy, was manipulating her the whole time. I fucking knew it the whole time. Also, the other plot twist about who her mother truly was, I guess that one also. Yeah, no, it's very predictable, and I hated that man's. I hated him so much. I am team Baz all the way. Though I am, listen, I may have made my own headcanon where one of his few friends, who is also Eclipse, did I mention that the phases of the moon affect what type of magic you have and whatnot? His other Eclipse friend, the only other Eclipse student, honestly, is confirmed to have been in a relationship with another man at a previous point in his life, right? And there is a point where when Baz says goodbye to Emery at the end and they kiss, I think they kiss, or they almost kiss, and then that friend looks at him, I think his name's like Kieran, don't quote me on that, looks at him in a certain way, and my brain went, wait a second, Baz deserves better from our fucking main character girl. What about this friend who has been his emotional rock? I want them to get together. Anyways, I rated it 3 stars because I was so annoyed about all the very obvious manipulating of her happening. That being said, I am going to pick up the sequel, just audiobook that time. The audiobook narrators did a great job, okay? So I'm down for picking up the audiobook, even though it's like over 500 pages for every book in the series. But hear me out. In order to try to get to Emery after everything that happens at the end of this one, apparently him and Kieran, I think, Baz and Kieran, time travel, which is so me-coded, okay? So I'm gonna pick it up just for that. I will do anything for Baz. He deserves so much more than her, okay? I think we only have one more, yeah, because the rest of the list is just the other Yon and the Dots that I already talked about. We have Strange Pictures. I read Strange Houses in my reading Kindle Limited Horror. And the person who I got the recommendation, kind of Strange Houses from, read Strange Pictures afterwards and said it wasn't worth it, it wasn't as good. And so I went, let me go pick up Strange Pictures as well. Listen, one, I had a fever when I was trying to read it. Two, they're easy to read. Here's my thing. Strange Houses, the way it's set up is that there are all these architectural layouts of these houses, and you as a reader, but also the characters, are trying to figure out, hey, what's wrong with these? And then they have conversation and talk about it, and then at the end, a big exposition dump in which you learn what's happening, right? Strange Pictures was essentially the same thing, but every single picture, there's no way you could have figured out what's wrong with it. That's my main issue. Like, it's split into like 4 parts, and it took me until near the end of part 2 to realize that they're all connected, because the writing style changed like drastically in between parts 1 and 2. So I was like, oh, this is a different story. That's weird. That's suspicious. And then learning at the end that they are connected, and I did like how they were connected, like the overall story connection I did like better. But the fact that you can't actually figure out what's happening with the pictures, they're just like pretty things to look at repeatedly on your Kindle, I guess. Because one of them you would literally have to print out, well, resize them all, print them out, cut them out, and then line them up perfectly. No. And then another one you could only figure out if you happen to know this other character who could tell you what was drawn there beforehand, and you happen to know what I think Japanese gravestones look like. I am good. I don't, like, that was so annoying. I was like, how is this supposed to be like an interactive like reading experience if I can't figure it out myself? Like, the house is one. I figured out the freaky deaky child's room upstairs. Like, I did clock the weird pantry closed off area in the kitchen, but that part was freaking me out more. And then the characters at first only knows that kitchen area, not the upstairs bedroom. So I felt very smart noticing that and being more freaked out by that, right? this, no. Strange Pictures was just like, no, you will never guess what's happening here. And so I didn't like that. The end. 2.5 stars for that one. That's my rating for Strange Pictures. The end. I'm gonna go throughout this piece of paper now. That's everything. That's everything that wasn't for a vlog. All the DNFs were also in vlogs. I say all, there were 2. Were also for vlogs. Even if some of them are very far down the line. I'm gonna go have fun in my unicorn onesie, honestly. At least I'm warm. I'm nice and warm. You can't really see the horn. That's the difficult part. Or like all the effort, just like, can we talk about how much effort I put in to do this? I feel so fancy with all my sequins and glitter. And I had a great time. Thank you for coming to my video. I gotta put this back on the desk, which means I gotta move things. Into video stuff. I stream on Twitch like almost every day. I'm gonna go stream on Twitch like in like 5 minutes, okay? Let's be honest. Booktube videos are Saturdays, unless if at some point I have a video that would be funnier to go up right before Thanksgiving. Just saying. So that Wednesday will be a Booktube video. Wednesdays are generally gaming videos, unless if that happens, and then I switch them. And gaming videos are from Twitch streams, so if you want to know what's happening ahead of time, Twitch streams, because I usually also talk about the books in my chat, and whatnot. So, that's linked below, everything's below. I think I'm supposed to tell you to subscribe, because, like, apparently there's a thing where nobody subscribes anymore, so subscribe, do that thing. And the final thing is, I'm doing the thing where you tell people to put emojis in their comments, if you've gone this far, and I always forget about that, because this paper that I wrote it on has a bunch of underwater scenery. Do a fish of some kind. Any of the different kinds of sea animal emojis. There's so many. You can choose one. There's a jellyfish. That's what that is. There's a jellyfish. There's some fish up there. There's some starfish and sand dollars and clams and coral all over this. So you can like pick any of those or any other sea animal. If you've gone this far, I'm gonna go show off more of this look. This look is just, I'm so beautiful. Was I laughing my ass off as I was doing this? Yes. Was I having a great time? Yes. The horn fell off. No. Anyways, goodbye.